All right, guys, Dave Mountain Max 6, and we're back in Cali, and I'm hooking up with Brad again, and I really wanted to do this shoot because the last time we filmed in Vegas at the Kilo Club, we were just talking about some of the things that you wanted to do and some of the goals that you had, and there's always so much going on in your life all the time when I see you.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that one of the goals you want is basically do more athleticism and all that stuff. You want to start dunking.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened right after, because I'm sure everyone knows what we have to tell.
So started this whole new journey. I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna downsize. I'm gonna get back to my old athletic ways. Something I always did when I was a bodybuilder anyway. I pride myself on how I can move.
Yeah.
I wanted to travel. I was gonna do all this shit, and then a couple weeks after,
right after
filmed, it was like 2 weeks after, at the basketball courts with my best friend Josh. You guys will meet in a little bit. And just shooting around, we were playing for a couple hours, and so I had him just film a little sequence of me shooting a three-pointer and then running in and jumping up to grab rim. I had done it like 5 times that day, no problem. And as I go to jump, snap, my patella, my quad tendon snaps. I'm like in the air, and it throws me off. I turn sideways, I slam down. Pretty sure I fractured my wrist because that's still killing me 14 weeks later. Screwed my shoulder up. My kneecap was over here. My quad muscle was up here.
Oh my God.
I'm laying there on the ground.
So it actually snapped as you jump?
As I jumped, it snapped. Most people, it's the landing. But
that's what I thought.
Yeah, most people, it's the landing. But when I went up, it was so much explosive energy that fucking tendon just
God,
dissipated, basically. The surgeon had to take all the tendons together because they were lamented apart and re-stitch everything. And they had to drill tunnels through my patella itself, run those stitches down, put these 2 huge buttons at the bottom to anchor it, and they anchored through the top. So basically he said he had to do more to my knee than 300-pound NFL offensive lineman.
Wow.
So as you guys know, if you know anything about this injury, it's probably one of the worst injuries you can get as an athlete. The surgeon I have is the Rams and the Dodgers team surgeon, and he said it's the number 1 injury to cause retirement. So the second I got hurt, I was like, whatever, fuck it. I'm going to turn this to a positive thing. I don't know if you guys remember, but I ruptured my bicep. When that happened, that's when I found the newbie.
Yeah. And
that completely changed the trajectory of my entire life. So when this happened, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make this the next best thing that ever happened. So, thankfully, I'm opening up this crazy life enhancement center, and so I've been studying a lot of these biohacking modalities, ways to recharge your body, to reverse the aging process, to heal faster. And so I just started using all these modalities that I want in my facility on myself. I'm lucky enough to be in a situation at this point in my life and my career that I can afford some of these things and I have access to them. So things like stem cell injections. I have a hyperbaric chamber in my house, which I'll show you guys a little bit later. I bought a cheap little infrared sauna, but all these PEMF and biomats and laser therapy, red light therapy, all this type of stuff. A really strong peptide protocol to help recover. So, surgeon told me it was going to be 9 months. Typically, to be 100%. Now that's they say that for the typical, house mom or, whatever. Realistically, most athletes are 8 months, 7 months. So my goal was to be 100% by 5 months. And that put me July 2nd, basically, is exactly 5 months post-op. And that's just so happens my 38th birthday. So by July 2nd, I want to be able to dunk a tennis ball. I mean, I'm too big now these days to dunk a basketball anyway, so those hopes or aspirations are out. But realistically, dunk a tennis ball. And that's my challenge to myself. This year, as we talked about before, my life's been on a crazy journey. So I'm fortunate to be working with a lot of high-profile clients and have a network with a lot of high-profile athletes and things like that with their eyes on me. So they're watching how I'm recovering. So the faster I recover, it proves my methodologies and it proves the success of my business that I'm opening. So, again, what better way than be your own marketing tool? So
how did you learn about all those new technologies? Because I want to reach for that you created. And if they think the newbie is high tech, this is nothing compared to the other thing. But how do you know about all? You read a lot, you research a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when newbie came into my life, I was grateful enough to be invited to the Bulletproof Labs Biohacking conference by Garrett, the owner of NewFit. So I went and worked this 4-day conference where some of the greatest technology all around the world is all in one spot. And from there, I just kind of went and looked at all, spent some time browsing through, reading pamphlets, and all that stuff really intrigued me anyway, because I was always more into health and wellness than anything. And when I came up with my gym concept, it was, hey, I'm an athlete. I was a collegiate athlete. What would I want in a facility? And basically, I just made my favorite fucking playground in the world. Like the best performance training gym in the world, all these biohacking modalities to help you recover, repair faster, anti-aging things, IV lounge, hormone clinic, juice bar, cafe, you name it, therapists, all in one spot. So you do not have to leave whatsoever. So I created that concept. And that's what I'm in the process of opening. And
I don't think they're even that much advanced in oxygen, because they kind of did that over there, by there and all that stuff. What I'm hearing, but it's much more basic than what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's facilities out there that have cryo. They might have an IV lounge, and they'll have a couple of these things, but no place that I know of has everything in one spot. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because we found a location that is absolutely fucking out of this world. The problem is it's a lot bigger than the space we were looking for. So we were looking for about 30,000 square feet. This place is 46,000 square feet. Wow. But it's in a brand new tech development right off the 90 freeway in the marina. There is 3 large buildings. 2 of them are 60,000 square feet each. The other one's 47,000 square feet. EA Sports has already committed to taking the full 60,000, and we're hearing they're more than likely going to take the other 60,000. So they'll have 120,000 square feet with EA Sports as their corporate headquarters, with over 500 employees right there in this beautifully built. It's like an internal campus. They want to, tech companies want to keep everybody there. So by us bringing this performance and wellness center and health and wellness center to this facility, we're adding value to the campus. And on top of that, we have members that are right there, right at our disposal. And it's right in the heart of Silicon Beach, which is the Southern California's tech capital. You see it as you're coming down the 90, so it's so visible. And it's just it's one of those crazy high-tech places that you have an app in your phone, and as you walk by a door opens for you.
Wow.
So it screams what we're trying to convey. But the price tag is pretty fucking hefty. So, I've sat with my consultants all last week, and we came up with some realistic numbers based on increasing our scale due to size, because we want to keep it exclusive as well. So we had a membership cap. So we increased that membership cap, and we felt that because of the area and location we're in, we can get more pre-sale and increase our membership ramp up. So we just ran all those numbers, and it actually became even a little bit more of a profitable model than the smaller size with the much less lease overhead. So I pitched that to my investment group. They're like, all right, you just got to show me a marketing plan. So my marketing department right now is working on this plan to present to them by Monday, and we're hoping we get an offer in on Wednesday on this place.
That's awesome.
It's unbelievable.
If it's a go and they actually approve the project, when would you be? When would be the timeline?
If
everything goes right,
everything goes right, like a January 2022 opening.
That's not bad.
Realistically, probably more like February. But again, that just depends on
less than a year.
Right. It depends on how long the lease negotiation goes.
Yeah, of course.
And then getting permitting from the city of Los Angeles was the biggest pain in the ass. Yes. But we can hire expediters to speed up that process. But it's an open shell. Literally, you walk in, it's just polished concrete floors, top and bottom. So
just the way you want it.
Right. So our build out can be how we want it. It's easy. There's no restraints whatsoever. Our gym floor, if we get this, is going to be 20,000 square feet of nothing but open space with 20-foot vaulted ceilings.
Wow.
And natural light pouring in.
Wow.
And the first floor is going to be all the wellness center and juice bar and locker rooms and all that stuff. So it's going to be an absolutely amazing location. So I'm excited. I'm trying not to get too worked up because
I can't wait to come and do.
I had another dream location that I found that I've been looking at for 10 months. And as soon as we realized that we really wanted to pursue LA, because we checked out other markets, as soon as we went to go engage in lease negotiations, a tech company came and swooped it up and took it underneath our feet after I'd been looking at that place for 10 months.
Oh my God.
So anything can happen. I know that. So
in the end, it'll be for the best.
Yeah.
Whatever happens.
Right. That's why I said, like, if we got that place, we want to see in this place, and this place is even better than the other place.
You see what I mean?
So, you know, but fingers crossed I get through.
But I can't wait to do the walkthrough with you when that thing is open. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It'll be funny to hear you talk about it today and finally show it on camera later.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
One year from now, we gotta redo this again.
I know. I can't wait. That's awesome. Good
at the moment, so that's my life. I put all my energy and effort into recovery.
Yeah.
You know, as you guys know, I've been kind of dealing with, kind of a new journey in my life as is with retirement, with the divorce, going down this path of personal development. And, I can honestly say that I'm in the best place I've ever been in my entire life.
That's great.
There's still a lot more work to do, and I'm willing to put in the work. But hindsight, the divorce was the best thing that ever happened to me. We loved each other, and we just want the best for each other. As much as it hurt me and I couldn't see it at the beginning, I realized that, we both deserve different because we wanted different paths in life. And it pushed me down a path to being a better version of me for me. And isn't
that a goal of life, to get a little bit better every day in every way?
A little bit every day. I found this organic connection with God of, it's been a crazy journey. And this is coming from someone that thought they were atheists, 15 plus years ago. So, that's where I am at right now.
And you still look so great. Jay always says, how does Brad always look so great? You need to ask him, what the hell is he doing? For someone who's retired, because people are always giving props for looking so great, being retired. And you're the same. I don't think you'll ever change.
It's kind of funny. Like, I've been trying to downsize, and
he says that too.
Right? And it's like I'm on like nothing. I'm like my HRT is like nothing, and for the most part, I eat one fucking meal a day. I usually fast at least 5 days a week. I'm fasting like 23 hours.
Wow.
And I was doing keto for the past 10 days. I'm a little full right now because I worked with this spiritual healer, and she said like my body was just kind of like screaming for like fruits and vegetables and things like that. And I've kind of felt that for a little bit too, because like I was doing keto, but it was like really heavy. I was eating like fucking 3 bags of pork rinds at night, and bacon and cheese and all this other stuff. Because I could wake up and still look amazing. You don't eat all fucking day. You just eat one meal, eat whatever the fuck you want. I train every day. I do an hour of cardio every day. So I switched over to some carbs, just lots of fruit, lots of vegetables, really light amount of protein, just like some ahi tuna, some shrimp, a little bit of chicken, just things that are really easily digestible, but very small portion sizes. So my weight went up like 4 pounds, but not a ton. I'm sitting around like 236 right now. And,
great shape still.
Staying in pretty good shape. So, it's just consistency. It's always going to be a part of me. I was a gym rat before I ever got into bodybuilding. And that's something I'm going to do till the day I die. And
you still train hard though. It's not like you just, you're not competitively, training for competitive.
Right. I'm nowhere near the person I was, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's like I look at old videos of me training, I'm like, holy fuck. Then I look at myself training now, I'm like, God, I'm such a pussy.
Yeah, but you also use the new V now.
I use a new V,
and
but again, like I have to, this left shoulder, I need a shoulder replacement.
Oh, really?
And like, I was trying to, when I was at Dragon's Lair for the grand opening, I'm like training with Roden and Guy, and they're grabbing heavy dumbbells, and every single rep, I can just feel the bone within the socket just grinding around and popping around, like just trying to dislocate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and that's why I just can't do that shit anymore,
Yeah.
But I still train harder than most, definitely, and it's just the consistency. And like I said,
build that base, you'll never lose.
Right. It's 24 years of training, and I wasn't one of those guys that were relying on drugs to put on size either. So it's gonna stick around.
Yeah.
But I enjoy life now a lot too. Like,
you do.
I don't stress about food really. Again, I don't eat all day, so I can get away with eating whatever I want. But at least every weekend I'm taking down like 30 wings and a couple bunless burgers, and
nice.
And then Sundays are typically just whole carb days where I do tons of cereal and fruit and bread.
Oh, nice.
And I kind of cut away like the crazy pizza and all that shit for a few months, let my system clean out a little more. So I still eat good.
You still train a lot of people in here?
So I this beginning of this year, I wanted to focus on the business.
Okay.
And so I really switched kind of gears, and I just wanted to put all my emphasis on, at the time, 2 of my higher profile clients I had. And then as time went on, I was just kind of getting bored, and then I've been fortunate enough, and I've picked up a couple other high-end clients, and now I'm back to a point where like I have a bunch of high-end clients, and I'm kind of working myself a little too much, because I'm supposed to be.
You're not even trying, and you're
right, and it's like, who do you turn down? You know, it's like. Literally, it's like, I don't want to name a bunch of people, but it's it's a great situation to be in.
Yes.
But I'm also, collecting a consulting fee to focus on my business.
Nice.
And so my energy has to go to that. So like yesterday, I was on conference calls all morning with the CFO of my investment group and the president, my marketing department, got all these numbers done. I had a few clients set up, and I was just like, I got to focus on this. So my roommate, I trained him how to use a newbie, so he's a practitioner, so he was able to take over a couple of my clients for me and kind of lessen that load. So my people get taken care of.
Yes.
I think that's the hardest thing about me is, it's more than just money. It's more than, just trying to make someone better. Just these people rely on me. So, when I just throw them to the side, I feel like I'm an asshole.
Personal to you.
Right. It is. I care about everybody. So it doesn't matter if you're Mike Tyson, or I'm working with Gina Carano, the actress now, or you're, one of my clients that have been around forever that don't even compete. I treat you all the same, and I try to make sure everybody's taken care of. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm going to give you guys a little tour in the house.
Yeah, let's go see that chamber.
Show you my chamber, what I got going on here. And then I'm going to do some legs. So it's nothing going to be crazy. Obviously, I'm 14 weeks post-op. Been having a lot of swelling and pain still. My strength, my mobility, all that's really great. But we can't tell if it's because, the surgeon said he had to do so much to repair that, that there's just still a lot of underlying like bone healing and things like that. So we're kind of restrict some of my range of motion right now. I was at pretty much 100% range of motion on leg press and leg extensions, but I might have developed a little bit of patella tendonitis because I was pushing the leg training a little too hard. So we're trying to let that kind of just calm down. So all my movements today for leg stuff, for quads, will be just kind of like a mid-range motion. They don't want me fully locking out or not fully get down to 90 degrees. And then I'll hit some hamstrings. So
awesome.
Get a little training in, and that's about it.
All right.
So now I'm going to bring you guys into my biohacking room that I created when the injury happened. So you'll see the full-fledged gym that I have out here, and then I have my own little mini wellness center here. It's kind of a mess.
So I've seen the story. I'm really excited to actually see this. Oops.
Oh, you're good.
Sorry.
You're just unplugging things. So we got the newbie, which not only is used for training, but it's also a rehab device. That's what it was designed for.
That's right.
Help her recover from injury. And then over here on this bed, I have this biomat. So there's all these crystals and a PMF system in it, which the PMF sends out a magnetic field. All of our cells have a magnetic charge, and as they become injured or as we get older, they begin to lose that charge. So you use a PMF device to kind of recharge your cells. And then on top of that, the crystals, they get heated up with the heating unit in there, and they release negative ions. And again, all of our cells have a charge. There's a great book called The Body Electric that everybody should read. So we're kind of recharging and re-energizing the cells, and different frequencies elicit different responses. So if you have sports injuries, there's frequencies for that. If you're trying to calm down and relax, there's frequencies for that. If you want to energize, there's frequencies for that. And then same thing with this light system here. This is called the LS Pro light system. It's red light, blue light, and this one has PMF in it as well. Everything gets plugged into here, and there's all these different modes with different frequencies to elicit different things. Like the face mask here, I put it on for the wellness one to kind of let my skin grow better, keeps my face clearer. And then the other ones are used for injury, or you can put it on your stomach. Like if you have a lot of like digestive issues, it'll help kind of just heal the cells and the organs and things like that. This one for like hair, improve hair growth and everything like that. And then over here we have the hyperbaric chamber.
Now that's cool. When you get in that thing, it's like a space something, the space shuttle thing.
It was it's kind of unique. So we have these two big oxygen concentrators here. So that delivers concentrated oxygen. You put oxygen mask on, and then the compressor blows up the device itself. So you climb in it, you zip yourself in, which the first time I did it, I almost fucking lost my shit because I couldn't zip it in. And I'm like, fuck, if I can't get in it, how the fuck am I gonna get out of it? And I'm
feel
home alone.
claustrophobic.
Right? You're like, I started getting that claustrophobic feeling.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. But once you figure it out, it's pretty easy. So you climb in it. You can bring your cell phone or your laptop in these because they only get to 1.5 atmospheres. The big steel one, which I wanted, which I couldn't fit in the house, those get up over 2.5 atmospheres. And at that much pressure with that concentrated oxygen, you can't bring a phone or anything like that because any little spark can ignite and blow things up. So with this, where it only gets to 1.5 times our normal atmospheric pressure, you can. So you climb in there, you turn on the compressor, zip yourself up, and the thing blows up and just really creates a ton of pressure in there. Now what that does is that makes our blood more oxygen. It gives a greater oxygen affinity. So our blood, our red blood cells can carry more oxygen, and then we're breathing in oxygen at the same time. So we're getting super saturated oxygen flowing through our body that's going to heal so many different things from brain injuries to sports injuries, just general health and wellness, clearer skin, better growing nails, better digestive system. There's so many benefits to hyperbaric oxygen therapy treatment, and it's really starting to catch wave in mainstream medical world.
When the professional cyclists, you do that?
Yeah,
a lot, right?
Yeah, the cyclists who do that.
Tour de France,
right? Yeah, yes. Because once you get out, your blood is still the red blood cells have a greater affinity to oxygen, so it's going to make your breathing more efficient, right? So you get better endurance out of it and everything. So I've got this. I try to get in. I've actually been really diligent with it. Because it's fucking expensive, like $30,000 for this model.
Wow.
But there's just so many benefits. So if I can find 45 minutes to an hour, like typically spending an hour and a half is kind of your key time.
Okay.
I'll hop in there. So if I have a bunch of emails to write or whatever it is, I'll get in there, work on that. Or even if I just zone myself out and listen to an audiobook or some like meditation music and just really kind of decompress in there. But it's great for energy too. And it's one of the shitty things. You can't nap in it, or at least I can't, because all of a sudden you start breathing in all this oxygen and boom, you got energy.
Oh,
so like,
I was gonna ask. It's a nice place
right.
to
It's
take
like when I went through my surgery, I was having such a hard time sleeping because I was in so much pain, and I don't like taking pain pills. So I'd go to the steel chamber one for the first. I did like 30 drops in a steel chamber one over at 2.5 atmosphere, and I was like, I'd be so tired. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pass out. So I could smoke a little joint. I'd climb in it, and within like 5 minutes, I'm like, like wired. So but it was great because I read a shit ton of books during that time. So
yeah, you make good use out of the time.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of stuff that you would like to have in your wellness center.
But even more high tech and so we'll have the steel hyperbaric chambers. We'll have these ones too because they're just good for general wellness.
Yeah,
that's just a shitty, cheap little infrared sauna. I mean, it's effective.
Is that for red light therapy?
That's
really good. Red light therapy, right?
Sauna. Yeah. So it heats up. It'll get up to about, I think the highest I've gotten it up is like 123 degrees in there. So you sit there for like 30 minutes, sweat your ass off. And I bought a portable blow up tub to do ice baths with.
Oh boy,
too much of a chicken to do it so far. So I'll get that set up. And then, the compression boots and Normatec. I've got all the guns and everything. So
you got a lot of toys.
I've got everything you need. And I did this for my clients too. So like one of my clients is Saudi Arabian Olympic 100-meter sprinter. And so he's getting back. He's trying to get ready for the Olympics.
Wow. So
he's been coming over here doing some recovery stuff in the newbie, and then he hops in the hyperbaric chamber.
Nice.
So it's beneficial for everybody in my camp as well. So
that's awesome.
Just another added bonus.
I would give your contact info, but I'm sure you don't want any more people.
Nope.
So they'll have to, they'll have to wait until your center opens, and then they can go there.
How's that? January, February 2022.
We'll make sure that they know what it is. Yeah.
All right. So let's get ready to train.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Yeah. People want to see what your secret is. He always says the secret. He always says the secret. Nothing's changed really. You're pretty basic with your nutrition.
Yeah, especially like with the fasting. Most days I don't have anything but water or black coffee. And if I do train a little later in the day, I'll break my fast with just having some aminos.
Nice.
So some people don't consider that breaking a fast, but from a true cellular level, it elicits different responses in the cells. So you are technically breaking a fast. But what I'll have is like 2 scoops of aminotor and 1 scoop of nitrox with some sea salt. And right now it's already 2:30. I'm an old man when I go to bed at like 7:30 at night.
What time do you normally train? What time is your training?
I a client every morning at 5 a.m.
Okay.
And I usually wake up an hour and a half before that to clean my house. I'm still a crazy motherfucker. Nothing's changed in 10 years. You can ask Josh.
You'll never change, dude. It's always going to be that way.
So I do my morning routine. My first clients are at 5. Then I do my cardio. And then I come back and, do some business work shit. Then I usually have a couple clients midday to mid-afternoon. I usually train around like 3 or 4.
Okay.
So I take Shreddable in the morning before my fasted cardio, which is obviously our fat burner.
Yeah.
But that's a stimulant. And then Joe just launched the sweat stick.
Yeah.
I
see that on this
story. Amazing. I probably should have taken it a little bit ago. So the one downside of the sweat stick is
you sweat.
It kicks in a little late.
Oh, okay.
So take it about 30 minutes before you train. So
okay.
You're gonna be sweating,
It's like a pixie stick?
Yeah. Really good. Just dump in your mouth.
Okay.
It dissolves. The flavor is great.
That's actually a good idea. Because so many people don't actually mix their pre-workout and just dump it. So that's actually really smart.
Just so
yeah.
Not lazy, just like inefficient.
Yeah.
Connolly, he's on miles all the time. So he's like, always showing up to the gym with like these pre-made BCAAs and like protein shakes. I'm like, Tom, that's shitty stuff. He's like, oh, I need something pre-made. I'm like, I know, but you might as well just drink fucking water at that point. Like some of these like shitty companies, just BCAAs with no EAs in it, and like the Premier Protein ready to go shakes. It's like you don't know what's in that stuff. You can't trust it. So the companies doing things like this makes everybody's life a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna chug this, and then my post-workout nutrition is usually. I'll show you guys what my cabinets look like. Everything here.
Oh yeah.
So I'll do some whey isolate, True Nutrition, some collagen peptide protein, and then I always do a scoop of our Graves.
That's really good stuff.
Yeah. Fiber Plus, religious every single night before I go to bed. Helps me take a shit.
Yep.
Then the fun cabinet.
He's coming with his protein soon. He's working on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait for that.
So I've got
Yeah.
I'm neurotic.
Old faced.
And if you don't think I don't do the pills, look at the stack of pills right there. That's everything.
We filmed that, remember?
Yeah. So I'm still doing it. I'm still fucking neurotic. I'm still that same guy. But when it comes to the diet, I've let off a little bit. So
I can't believe you're eating once a day and you look like this. This is it's crazy to me.
Twice a week I'll have like a full eating day, like a Wednesday and a Sunday.
Okay.
I'll eat all day, and then every other day I try to fast as long as I can. I feel better, I feel more efficient still. Like,
and you're not hungry when you're fasting. You just kind of.
There's days like hour 14 to like 16 is usually the toughest.
Yeah.
And then after that it's like smooth sailing.
Wow.
I could fast for days on end. The hardest part is I can't sleep that night. Because you're wired, you're euphoric. You think it'd be the opposite. You think you'd be like dragging ass, but you're just fucking wired. So it doesn't matter how much weed I smoke or edibles I take or pills.
That's so funny.
I can't knock myself out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. What else was I talking about?
That's it. I love it. It's so unconventional. So it's like, it's hard to. I'm glad you look this way, because if you told that to someone who doesn't look like that, they'd say, oh, well, that's why he doesn't look good.
Right.
But if you look at him, you're like, oh, obviously, that's awesome. All right, let's go hit some legs. Oh, there you go. So how many jars a day because you eat a lot of that.
Yeah.
So how many?
I used to about a half a jar a day.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah.
I will admit that I haven't been eating it as much because I'm doing
the fasting. Yeah.
So that's great on like my full eating days to kind of satiate my sweet tooth. But on the fasting days, I kind of have to get my calories in.
Yeah.
So I eat a ton of nuts, a ton of bacon, pork rinds, all that shit, which I told you guys about. So I'm down to about, I'd say between me and Josh, we do about like a jar every 3 days, 4 days.
Oh, that's not bad.
Maybe 4, actually 5 days, I'd say now.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's been pretty slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
still throw it on my celery with some monk fruit or stevia.
Yeah. He's coming up with the new flavor also. So this is like the original, but he's coming up with so he's got the baby one right there.
Don't mind that shitty Walden Farm stuff. His sister sent him some stuff, and I told him that it tastes like ass, and it hasn't been touched, so I think he agrees with me.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's pretty good, pretty disgusting, right? Yeah.
All right. Hey, look at him. Look at that. Way more clicks just because of this.
Oh yeah.
You put dogs in the video.
Lego butts.
People always love it.
We should do Lego's butts.
It's just a boy.
Come on, bub. Francis. Hey. Francis, come on.
He's on.
Hey.
He's on a trace of something.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, this is cool. So this wasn't there when we filmed last time. This is all new. This is add-on stuff. Yeah. Nice. Let me see this. Yeah, that's great. Very cool. It adds up quite a bit of space.
Right, so like the sled here, what I'll do is I'll clear out my driveway, take the cars out of it, open the gate, and have them run down, sprint back with the
Nice.
sled pushing it. You know, the AstroTurf's great because I can set up ladder drills and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, I've got you know, a few like athletes. I would work with this kid Chase Griffith, who's going to be the starting quarterback at UCLA. I've got Abdul, who's the Saudi Arabian 100-meter sprinter. So I've got some people that, you know, need to push themselves a little different rather than just bodybuilding. So that's why I've got a little bit of everything here.
Awesome.
Plus stuff that I wanted to use for myself and challenge myself.
Yep.
Which I'll be back close.
Yep.
So. What's that? Yeah, we're gonna need both of them. Going. All right, so I'm gonna do some hamstring curls to start. Right now I have pads equally distributed across both legs. My hamstrings aren't as poorly developed on the leg I had surgery on as the other side, so I'm gonna activate them the same. When I go on to training the quad and my presses, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 3 cords. So it'll be 6 pads total on my left leg and 2 pads on my right quad, just so that I'm getting a lot more activation on the leg that I need to bring up and strengthen than my right one. So that's kind of what I've been doing.
That's so cool.
Overstimulate.
Yeah, Jay would have loved that machine. He actually said that in the video.
Yeah.
Because he's always had that imbalance
Right,
in the quads, you know?
Yeah,
He could have used that for sure.
So, doing some real light. But as you can see, I mean, range of motion's good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 14 weeks post-op. You know, when I warm it up a little bit, I can pretty much get 100% full range of motion. It does get stiff sometimes, so it takes me a minute to kind of warm it up. So I've got this guy over here. That's Josh. So that's my best friend growing up.
We met him at the Olympia for a second, remember?
Yeah. I mean, literally, I moved down the street from him when I was in 3rd grade, going into 3rd grade, and since then we've been best friends. Josh,
me.
Yeah.
So he's from New Hampshire too?
Yeah, from New Hampshire, born and raised, and then he went to college and ended up moving down to Myrtle Beach, and that's kind of like where we went in different ways in life. He was a year ahead of me as it was. And when I came up with the concept of the gym, so he was a corporate manager for Waffle House. Before he left, he was running like 32 stores or something like that across 5 states. So I wanted him to come be my GM, and I was like begging him, I'm like, you know, let's do this together. We always used to joke as kids that we were going to go to California and dominate together. Literally, that was our thing. So he's like, no, dude, I can't. He's like, I'm fucking making so much money. We'll retire in 20 years with huge ass, you know, stock options and all this shit. I'm like, all right, I get it. You have stability, you know. And then, so the way the universe works, my ex-wife asked for a separation, or said she was, you know, unhappy on June 21st. And June 22nd, he calls me out of the blue and had no idea. And he goes, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to make a life change.
Holy crap. I gotta talk to him real quick.
Yeah.
So what happened since you told him, I can't do this, I got all this going on? What happened for you to make that? It's a huge decision.
Nothing really just, you know, crazy happened. It was more or less just, you know, I was wanting Brad to, you know, be successful, and I wanted to continue my path and, you know, management and try something different. So I just gave it a lot of thought, you know, and like you said, the universe works in weird ways, and I was just feeling it. So I decided to make the change and take a leap of faith, really, at the end of the day.
I know.
Yeah.
He seems to have a great plan, though. It's very exciting what he's got going, right?
Oh yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it's I'm very excited. I couldn't be more excited.
So you always wanted to come to California? I was the same way too. I used to watch, Chips and all those TV shows and seeing those movies and kids going to school in California. I was like, oh my God, wouldn't it be great to live
we were
here?
Kids, we just used to talk about it, you know. We used to just discuss, how cool it'd be to go to California or whatever, you know. And then he was out here, I never really thought it was gonna come to it. It just something hit me one day after he was asking me for so long. I was just like, all right, let's go.
How did you feel being still back home and seeing, doing so well over here? Because he's been doing better and better, for over the past few years. You must have been like, holy shit, this son of a bitch is doing it.
Always believed in Brad. Brad's always been a go-getter.
He's such a hard worker.
He's a hard worker.
You can't fail.
You can't replace what he puts out there. So it wasn't a surprise at all, but definitely, happy for him for sure.
Well, so
excited to go on this journey with him.
So you came here, you moved into his house. We didn't see it, but he actually built this little behind the garage, the apartment and stuff. Yeah, those little studios. So
the final will be done on that, and then we'll decide if he wants to go live out there. Because right now he's got, he's living in the house with me. But he's got a nice little setup. He got his own bedroom. It's got its own little private bathroom.
That's awesome.
We're both almost 38-year-old men. So, we might want some privacy once in a while, even though neither of us has even had a date since he's moved out here. So once that's done, then he'll decide if he wants to stay in there. But he moved out here, and, I just had to know the progress, what was going to happen, We didn't know when we're going to sign a lease, when we're going to find a facility. So he's been here since September, and, it was tough because he left a corporate job making fucking,
lots of money,
nice salary.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, you got no job. Coronavirus is here. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, slowing down wasn't easy.
Right.
I know.
That was the hardest thing. It wasn't even the money or anything, because I knew it would come, but just like the slowing down, not having much to do. I was like, what am I going to do?
Thank God he was here, though, because can you imagine? Steph's gone, coronavirus, oh my God.
He helped me so much, especially with like...
Just by being here.
Right.
Company,
right. I was in a dark place when he first moved out here. I'd go to bed at like fucking 6 o'clock at night because I was like, I just don't feel like being awake.
Yeah.
So it was, he saved me from a personal standpoint.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm like, I knew that I'd have to transition away and start focusing on the business more. So like, all right, let's get you a newbie. So I bought him a newbie. He went through the whole certification course, got trained. He got his degree in exercise science in college. So it's not like lifting isn't a part of his life. We were gym rats.
It's not all new
13.
to him.
He just took like a 3-year hiatus and never stepped in the gym before he moved out here. So him coming out here was kind of like a total life change for him too. It was kind of reverting back to what we used to do. I mean, we didn't stop. Like our beach days, like him and his mom and my mom were best friends. Would be at the beach like 3 or 4 times a week, and all we did was throw the football around or play wiffle ball or run around. We just never stopped. We were always playing sports, always active. So it was fun to have him back. So we started playing basketball more and all this other shit, and it got him back into training, into that healthy lifestyle. Yeah, it's changed his life, because he competed before I ever did. He did a bodybuilding show. He moved down to South Carolina and ran into some friends down there at the gym, and they convinced him to do a show. So he had done it before I did, and then it's funny how it turns out that I ended up becoming a professional bodybuilder, and this is my life path. And
That's awesome.
And now we're just kind of
that's a cool story
journeying together again.
That's a cool story.
I told him he couldn't hack it.
Yeah,
there he is hacking.
he told me I couldn't handle the diet. I think I got it. I prided myself on being one of the most conditioned at all times.
That's awesung.
But
great story,
man.
man.
Where that spark came from, I'll take it.
Yeah,
he owes you big time.
It's all little challenges in life. He's like, you can train, you can do all that shit. He's like, you can't fucking diet.
It's the toughest part.
I was a junk food junkie.
His mentality.
Yeah. Hard to believe.
That's a cool story.
It is. Very cool.
So I mean, the beauty is now he's busy as hell with clients.
That's
with
awesome.
New Fit. So, he's taking some of the people that I can't handle.
Yeah.
And he's doing a fantastic job with them. Everybody's so happy, with what he's doing from a training standpoint. Plus, they just love who he is as a human too. So, it's nice. It's nice to. It's unique to have that friendship.
I know. I was going to say, isn't it great to be able to be business partner with your best friend? It's like
literally the last time we were together and around, he's got himself all caught up in the fucking. You got to lift up in the thing. You gotta get in it and extend out and pull it as you're extending out.
That's stuck in the pulley.
He's sucked up the Nubian pulley system.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, you know, for people to be apart for so long, opposite sides of the country for 20 years almost, and then to literally, I mean, last time we were together was my junior year in high school. No, my senior year in high school. You were in Plymouth as a freshman in college. That's the closest he was an hour away.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then after that, he moved to South Carolina. We saw each other maybe 5 times over a 20-year span, 15-year span.
But you always stay in touch.
I mean, it was just
not even hardcore.
no.
Really stay in touch, you know? You do
No.
everything
Just once in a while.
Like all of a sudden, like every 3 or 4 months, it's like boom, you know, you just click again. So, you know, it's one of those relationships. So it's fucking cool.
Yeah,
you know,
that's awesome.
that after all this time, we're out here doing this together.
Yeah, that's great. I love it.
Don't mind the gum on the bottom of my foot.
Way to point it out.
So just moving the feet around a little bit to focus.
Yeah, why do you do that?
Just focusing more on the left leg.
Okay,
Get the
gotcha.
throat a little more.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, the whole, obviously, with the injury, the calf small, the quad small, the hamstring small.
I was gonna ask you, is there a noticeable difference to you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys in a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's coming back. It's bouncing back.
Yeah.
I also haven't been eating to sustain muscle growth.
Right.
You know.
To make
Right.
hypertrophy. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So
So you're just doing it through training, pretty much. That's
Right.
it.
um,
Yeah, I got you.
so I'm gonna hit a phase. I think I kind of started it already when I started carving up last week.
Yeah.
At least for the next 4 weeks.
Just to rebuild it to what it was.
think.
Yeah.
But then Memorial Day weekend's kind of close. And I want to look good for a Vegas pool party.
Oh, you good?
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Look good or get the leg back. Kind of a toss up. What I can do is just spin on this one and like shrivel it down. I mean, because this leg is still.
Yeah,
bigger
it's
than-
not small.
It's bigger than most people's.
Yeah.
Most guys' legs my size.
It's not small.
So it still looks impressive. I can just get the other one down. Because then if you look at the other one, it's like, no. So
Yeah, make the other one.
one of two ways.
Make the other one bigger.
Yeah.
It looks better. That's funny.
Woo. I'll break down the Bowflex.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's separation, you know, it's just lacks the size right now, you know. So I got a ton of pads on this leg.
Yeah.
Activating all the things I want to activate, and just these two here, so
Yeah.
I get some activation there.
Yeah.
When I do the leg press, I focus most of my weight on the left leg.
Yeah.
Like I said, range of motion is just going to be like here to here.
Gotcha.
Doesn't want me going below 90.
Yeah.
Because
Is it
we're not
pulling
sure
there?
if my tibia. We're not sure if my tibia is either not rotating enough or rotating too much, which is causing the kneecap to fall out of traction a little bit, which might be causing some of that inflammation and stuff. So we're making a change in the next 2 weeks, because I was doing 100. I mean,
Wow.
I was pretty much doing a pistol squat. I could
Wow.
do it almost without any assistance, do a pistol squat. That's how close I was, and getting all the way down. So the recovery's going great. It's just you can still see the swelling.
Yeah.
That inflammation is just
Yeah. It looks tight.
yeah,
A little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I live in these compression socks and shit.
It's kind of cool. It's like a superhero
Winter
or something.
Soldier.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what it is. That's right. Like a superhero.
All right, like warm up.
That's a good press. This one. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good range of motion.
Yeah. I mean, I can go, you know, all the way down. I can do it. We're just trying to take
Yeah.
pressure off that kneecap.
Does it make you nervous?
So,
That would make me nervous. I'd be like,
no,
oh.
dude. It's just one of those things. Like,
Yeah.
well, fuck it, whatever. What if it tears? Who gives a fuck? And honestly,
I would.
the recovery,
Yeah.
I know.
the recovery was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
But it's always like that with you, man. You get hurt, but you rebound. You bounce
Right.
back so fast.
You know, I mean, obviously this is the first time I've dealt with, you know, pain and swelling like this for so long.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, like, the pain in this fucking surgery, the recovery, I didn't sleep for a long time. I was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Chronic pain. But I also didn't let the gas off at all. I was fucking pushing nonstop.
Yeah.
So my progress was sped up. I was just dealing with pain all the time.
Yeah.
But as far as like my disabilities, I mean, I ruptured my quad. I was at the gym the next morning, training client.
I know you're nuts.
I had surgery.
With the
The
sticks.
next morning after surgery, I was cleaning my house.
Grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping.
Picture of the
Yeah.
jackpot.
Grocery shopping. And then, so I had surgery on Friday. Monday, I was back to training all my clients.
Oh my god.
I didn't miss a beat. So, you know, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also crazy.
A little bit.
Gotta be
crazy.
a little bit of crazy in life to be good.
Yeah.
Be good at anything.
That's right.
I want to go deeper. This is so hard for me to stay. I was hoping we'd go to Coast and film, but
They're tough over there.
well, no, just because of the virus. Unless you're a member, you can't come in. So since you're not a member, you can't even videotape. So almost all my pressure is on this leg. Take it.
All right, man. That was a good leg workout.
Yeah, I mean, for what I'm at, 14 weeks post-op.
Yeah, man.
Not 100% where I want to be, but, for me to be able to get down and do this type of shit right now is
That's awesome.
pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
I was talking, I jogged the other day, just like not even thinking. I had some wrist wraps in my car that I wanted to grab for a client. And all of a sudden I take off and I start running. I got like 3/4 way down the drive. I'm like, holy shit, I'm running. Like, feels good. Like 2 weeks ago, was it? We went to the gym. We were shooting around hoops. Oh, I did it with Gavin. Yeah, I did it with my little hockey kid.
Yeah.
We shot around and I was like, I was doing layups, like kind of jumping a little bit. It's not my 36+ inch vertical that I usually have, but it's fucking progress.
You'll be back there. You'll be back there before you know it.
I'm excited. Like, my test is, how do I prove my comeback? That was always my challenge. And although I'm retired from bodybuilding, there's that little thing on my shoulder that says, prove you can get your leg back. Prove you can get your leg back. Because you look at like Callum, who returned from quad tendon surgery, his legs, down a lot. Levinson Depani hasn't made his comeback yet since his. So a lot of big name guys, have been kind of either shadows of themselves or never made it back.
Yeah.
So there's part of me that says that, but I'm in a whole different phase of my life, and I don't want to go back down that road. So
I know.
Being an athlete again is kind of where my focus is. So like I said, if I can dunk a tennis ball by July 2nd, 5 months post-op, that's a win in my book. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
The shreddable, the sweat
yes,
stick.
I know.
I'm dying right now. I didn't train that heavy, that hard to elicit that response. So I just want to talk about like 2 other things that I really utilized during this recovery. This thing here, it's a knee wrap, and it provides heat and vibration. So I just wrap it around my leg, and I turn it on, and it creates a bunch of heat, and it vibrates, so it loosens everything up. And this helped out so much with getting range of motion back and being able to move. So I was living on this thing. I'd use it like 5 or 6 times a day. And then I also got a BFR system. They have like the really advanced, like $5,000 electronic systems. I mean, this system itself is like pretty expensive, and all it is a leg and an arm band, but it's got this pump in it. So that's about like $600. But I utilize this a lot during my post-surgical recovery. A lot of results show that using BFR during the recovery process not only aids in the speed of recovery, but also maintaining some of the muscle tissue, reduce your amount of atrophy. So I'd use that a lot in coherence with a newbie, and that vibration thing. I'd be on the elliptical, I'm on the spin bike, just really trying to force that range of motion and cranking up the newbie on the leg to increasing the muscle contraction, and then using the BFR system to trap the blood in there to elicit a little bit of response, so I maintain some size in my leg, and it worked pretty well. So that's my recovery so far in a nutshell.
That's awesome.
Little leg workout and everything that's going on in my house. So I'll bring you out back and I'll show you the studio apartment that I built.
Yeah, I want to see that.
That's it for projects in the house, and
that's it, man.
Now it's time to get the gym open and either rent this out or give it to my parents and go buy myself a nice house in a little nicer
Where
area.
would you like to live? Like, ideally, if you could pick anywhere.
I want to live in an apartment. I know it sounds weird.
Okay.
For years, all I wanted was like this really nice modern apartment, like penthouse suite type thing.
Okay.
And when we were looking at Miami, we were pretty positive that there was a strong chance that we were going to go to Miami and open our first location. And I was like kind of excited about it, to sell this house or rent it out to someone I know, and then go live in some fucking gorgeous penthouse suite overlooking Brickell Bay.
Yeah.
And have a jet ski and a motorcycle and just live this kick-ass, like,
that sounds like you.
Just bachelor life, So I kind of want to spoil myself and kind of just live in this like low maintenance lap of luxury type place for a year or two. And then, because realistically, everything goes as planned with this facility. Hopefully by like month 18 of opening, our financial projections are on track to match our model. And once we get a clear picture that we're on track to matching our model, then we're going to start opening up location after location. What we would love to do is get into a system of, maybe it's the first 18 months to 2 years for location 1.
Yeah.
And then as we grand open 1, we're signing lease for the next spot.
Gotcha.
We want to do 4 or 5, maybe 6 locations across the country. So there's going to be a period where I'm going to have to bounce around from city to city.
Yeah.
So I'll have to have an apartment in Miami. I'll have to have an apartment in New York. I'll have to have an apartment, in Scottsdale or wherever we may be.
Yeah.
And then have my house or ground base here and bounce around for a little bit. But like I said, hopefully after like the second one or so, Numbnuts over here will be kind of conditioned and he can go do that. And,
I'll be bouncing, Dave.
He sounds okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, let's go.
He's not painting a bad
Hey,
picture.
it's-
Yeah.
it's, it's part of the plan. It's
Yeah.
just what we talked about. You
Yeah.
know, it's part of the vision. You
Yeah.
know, it's like I said when he came out here, it's like, hey, Josh, yeah, you're just going to be a manager, but you got to think big term.
Yes.
You
Big
know,
picture.
Right, big picture. If things pick up in this one, you're going to be the GM of this one. You're going to be the GM of that one, and the next thing you know, you're going to work your way up to an officer's position. So the growth potential's there. Just trust me. Just it's hard. Like how do you say just trust me? Lead
Trust
your
the
career.
vision. Yeah,
Just trust me. Trust your vision. And again, like coronavirus, this past year with everything slow, like we should have had a place open already.
I know.
Like we were gung ho, and then coronavirus hit,
Yeah.
and it put the brakes on everything.
Yeah.
But it was the best thing that happened because my network's grown more and more and more. Not only as me as an individual and kind of like the type of clientele that I'm now working with and reaching, but also just the connections and the relationships within the industry and things like that. Like creating good connections with equipment manufacturers and some of these tech companies, just all these different modalities that they want to support me in my vision because they feel so strongly with it. So, I'm going to get equipment at a cheaper rate some places. I'm going to have, some of the best available consultants that truly want to work on this project because they believe in the vision.
Yes.
So, again, as frustrating as it's been and as much as I want my baby to grow, I'm in such a better place for success right now than I was 10 months ago.
Yeah.
We're ready to go. So that, everything's a blessing in disguise, and sometimes you just got to be patient, let the universe do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Just have faith in that. So
That's awesome.
So
Great
exciting.
message.
All right, let's go look at this apartment.
Yeah. Let's go check it out. Are you coming?
Oh.
Come on, buddy.
So I started working on this last year,
Yeah, I remember.
and like when I bought the house, this room was already existing. It was just like an empty room.
Okay.
And we ran all the plumbing when we first bought the house because all this was just dirt.
I remember.
I had to do all this landscaping, or astroturf down. But we ran the rough plumbing lines from the house to this apartment because we knew that eventually we were going to do something with it. And finally last year, I decided to finally get it done and got the whole build out done. We were going to do a final inspection, and the supervisor was like, yeah, you need to redo your whole plumbing system. He's like, this has its own address now, so it needs to be connected directly to the street. And I'm like,
no.
It was going to cost me $35,000 to rip up my fucking AstroTurf, reroute everything, rip up my fucking driveway, and go direct to the street.
Oh, no.
So I've spent months, fucking 8 months now, fighting with the city about trying to get a variance to get around that because they had already approved the original, plumbing system,
Right.
all the rough plumbing. So finally, my plumber was able to get through to like a main supervisor. He finally realized how stupid that situation sounded, so he just made me change like one little thing.
Oh, nice.
And the final inspection is going to be done next Friday. It was supposed to be done today, but the inspector canceled. So this is going to be done finally.
Nice.
And then, I can occupy it, do whatever I want to do with it. And then I can move that stupid shed there back around the corner because it can't be in the corner because it's too close to the other house.
Oh, boy.
Right. It's a movable object. It
Yeah,
makes no
yeah,
sense. So just to make the inspectors happy, that's there. So it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
chunk of my yard. So let's go in. Nothing crazy, just a little box.
That's a nice little
A
studio.
little kitchen there. The bathroom's probably the nicest part of it.
Yeah, that's great.
So, cute little place.
Yeah. It's brand new.
Yeah. So, you just put a futon here, a little
Yeah.
round 3-top kitchen table, put a dresser over here, and I bought a TV stand that mounts on the ceiling.
Okay.
And it's remote controlled. So you just press the button and the TV drops down.
Oh, wow.
So it can hide when you want to move around.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you want
yeah.
to sit on your futon or your day bed, whatever we decide to do here, you can watch the TV. So,
I love it.
It's just,
It's a good-
I really did this just to increase the value of my home.
Yeah.
But like in case family or friends and things
It's
came
great.
to visit, they could stay for like a week and not be in my hair.
Yeah.
And then obviously with Josh here now, we'll talk about that and see where we want to go.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. and
Looks
this is
so
it.
good.
It's the final touches on
I love
my
it.
house. I'm done spending money here.
Good job.
I just make money now.
That's it. Well, thanks for having us, Brad.
Thank you very much. I truly
always
appreciate
great.
you coming out.
Yeah, man.
And
Always good to catch up with you.
and Wiggle says thank you too for
Thanks. Bye,
allowing him to
puppy.
be on JTV.
I know. You'll be a star.
He already is a star.
I know he is. So I can't wait for your gym to open. I know it's gonna be in a minute, but I can't wait. I can't wait to be invited over there so we can do the tour
before we know it.
That'd be great.
This thing, like, time flies. So
yeah, man.
just got to enjoy the process.
I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're recovering so well, and hopefully I hook up with you in Vegas again next time you come.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
I got to get out there a little more often. I got to get a little getaways.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, bud.